Welcome back. It's time for your Black History at Noon, folks. All month long, WVVA News at Noon has highlighted African-American figures in the two Virginias and around our nation who have contributed to our history, America's history. This afternoon, I bring you the story I filed in February of 2020 of integration right here in Mercer County, West Virginia. These hallowed halls continue to produce champions in every field, from medicine to arts to sports and technology. Enter Beaver Nation, and every student has the equal opportunity to thrive. Inside the classroom of English teacher Larry Hypes, the story of Bluefield High and the men and women who walked these storied halls is told on the wall.
I felt like nobody understands division better than Bluefield. Down the road and here, you're a mile away from the old Confederacy and the Union. That's the knife edge of division. When you think about 150 years ago, this area wanted to stay with the Confederacy. Today, the old Virginia counties are thinking about joining West Virginia. So I felt like the story of these schools would blend, and we tried to make it into thirds, that they would blend into the modern era. What was had its place, according to some people, and now we have a place for all people.
Getting to that place for all took some time. 1954, Brown versus Board rules that separate but equal is unconstitutional. 1955, the Board of Education in Mercer County gives families the freedom of choice to go to the school of their choosing. 15 years later, the last all-black high school closes, and Bluefield High becomes the center of integration.
Well, the principal decided that it was time for him to leave, and he assured me that I did not want to come to Bluefield High School. No one could survive there. It would be 10 years before things would ever be anywhere near the semblance of a public school system again.
George Erps felt differently and chose to take on the task of heading the first fully integrated high school in the county.
I spent all summer trying to get ready, and I made a lot of plans and did a lot of work and this kind of thing, and it all fell apart on the first day. A student teacher came running in the office, and he said, "Mr. Erps, you need to come down the hall." Said there's a really bad fight down there. You can imagine the uproar and the upheaval in the school at that time, because everybody wanted to know, first of all, what this white principal's going to do about this. And I said, well, now you all realize I've got to have school today, and I've got to get everybody in the auditorium and get started. And if you all insisting on fighting, please promise me that you'll just sit here in these chairs until I can get school started. And then if you want to fight, we'll go downstairs and I'll put you in the coach's office and we can fight.
Becky Lewis and Willie Perry remember those first days as students.
It was a little scary because I had always been to an all-black school with no white people whatsoever. But I remember my father telling me, my dad telling me on my first day of school, they're just like you. They're humans just like you. They get into their clothes the same way you get in yours. If you go there being afraid and they can smell you being afraid, they're going to take advantage of that. If you go there with the confidence that you have had since you were in the black school, there's nothing they can do to you.
We went up there, we were playing ball. So we came to school one morning and everybody was sitting on the floor. See, we didn't have no black cheerleaders. So the white kids, they had a sit-in. We don't want no black cheerleader. They weren't gonna have one. They weren't gonna have it. They had a sit-in that morning. So they had that protest, then finally we got a black cheerleader. Then when my daughter got up there, 15, 20 years later, she said she's gonna go. I said, you go ahead and you do that because we had to fight for this. You know, you fought for everything you get.
Some 50 years later, Principal Erps is grateful he did not listen to the naysayers.
I kind of felt like the Lord had put me in that job at the time for whatever reason. I grew up feeling, because of what my mom told me, that most of the things like that that occurred in life, you know, you were in a particular place at a particular time.
Bluefield High laid the groundwork, the foundation for others to follow.
Somebody had to be a trailblazer to set it up.
The Beavers of today continue to stand on the shoulders of the Beavers of the past, and every lesson learned, sport played, and friendship made. Here for you, Joshua Bolden, WVVA News.